Hey everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a quick 2-minute routine to immediately alleviate desk tension. So whether you sit and work at a desk all day, maybe you sit and stand, you do a combination of both, or maybe you stand, the chances are that you're experiencing some tension and tightness in your neck. Maybe you're experiencing low back tension. Maybe your knees, your hips are achy and hurting. And there are some really quick movement snacks that we can do throughout the work day to help with this so that you don't have to be feeling uncomfortable as you're working throughout your day. I'm Jenna. If you haven't met me yet, I am the founder of Thrive Beyond Pain, this group right here, and I help people to recover from injuries, to heal the root that might be causing chronic pain so that they can get back to doing the activities that they love to do. So you don't need a yoga mat for 2 days routine. All you need is to be able to stand. And we're going to go ahead and start by sitting in our chair. So if you can do this right, actually where you typically work, then that would be ideal, because then you're going to ingrain these movement patterns right into your body, and this will be easier to remember. But if you don't remember it, that's okay too, because you can always watch the replay right here in the group. And if you're also viewing this later on YouTube, of course, you can watch it right there as well. Good morning, Suzanne. Thanks for joining today. And please comment below where you're tuning in from and if you can relate to this topic. If you're experiencing tension or pain from working at a desk, let me know. I'd love to hear more about what's going on with you. So I'm going to start by sitting in my chair back here. And the first exercise that we're going to start with, it's called sit to stand. So I'm going to go from my chair to stand, and I'm going to do that 10 times. So this might sound really simple, but after you do 10 of these, you're going to understand why we are doing this, because this is basically a squat, right? So there's a difference between sitting in a chair and coming up and down from your chair. Of course, you can feel these muscles working. Hopefully you can feel your glutes working. Probably going to feel your quads warming up. You might even start to feel a little bit of a burn in your legs, which is good. So the problem with either sitting at a desk or standing, because standing is just as damaging for our joints as sitting, as being seated, is what I meant to say. So I'm going to keep moving, but I'll talk as I move. So the next one we're going to do is hip circles. So you can just go ahead and bring your hands right on your hips. Start to draw a circle in one direction. This helps to lubricate those hip joints. So research has shown that there's just as many standing injuries from standing at a desk as there is with sitting at a desk. So the problem, go ahead and reverse, is not what position you are in, but the problem is not varying our movement throughout the day. So our bodies were designed to sit, squat, jump, run, sprint, climb trees, be on our knees, digging out tubers and roots. So when you think of it that way, you can understand why we may be in so much pain from sitting throughout the day. Okay, so we did the legs, we did the hips. So the next one we're going to do is to bring our arms overhead, and we're going to decompress our body. So we're going to interlace the hands, really lift up, lift up, lift up, breathing in, thinking about creating more space between each vertebrae in the spine. So when we're sitting at a desk all day, or even if we're standing, the spine is getting compressed with gravity. So in order to remedy that, we are lifting up out of our hips, elongating the spine, breathing in. That should feel really good. And then we're just going to take a gentle side stretch, breathing into one side of the ribs and side stretch the other way. And that should feel really good. So now we've got some movement in our spine and our torso. Hopefully you're feeling longer. And now we're going to address shoulder tension. So what we're going to do for that is a couple shoulder rolls. So you're going to roll the shoulders up and back a few times. Squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. So we're reversing the pattern that we're typically in throughout the day when we're working, because the body is going to be more like this, hunched forward, rounding our shoulders forward. So we're reversing that forward shoulder posture by unwinding the shoulders back and down. So that should feel really good too. Now we're going to interlace the fingers and just stretch those muscles in your upper back. And then we're going to do this one again. So the arms are going to come back up. You're going to lift the chest as you exhale, push forward, round your spine, arms come back up, lift the collarbones, lift the chest. So I'm trying to really do this movement more in my upper back rather than in my lower back. So if you're feeling tension or pain doing this in your lower back, really try to emphasize the movement in your thoracic spine or your upper back. So we're rounding and then lifting and rounding and lifting up, lifting the collarbones, lifting the chest, opening the heart. And then we're just going to hold that position for a few breaths. So I'm taking my arms back as far as I can without pain. If you're feeling pain in this position, then don't bring your arms that far back. And go ahead and lower your arms down, and we're just going to shake that out. And then we're going to do a quick shake. This is a great practice for regulating the nervous system, shaking off stress, anxiety, energy. So if you're working and sitting at your desk and you're starting to feel anxious about an email or about maybe something that's happening with your boss, you can shake that out. But it also helps to increase the circulation, get the blood flow going. It also moves the lymph. So our lymphatic system is our primary system of detoxification, and it doesn't actually pump and work on its own. It works through movement. So we want to move that lymph and help to encourage that detoxification pathway. You can shake out your legs a little bit. You can bounce a little bit. Take some long breaths. Any audible sounds that maybe want to come out as you're doing this shaking practice, feel free to do that. And then just come to a place of stillness. Notice how your body feels right now. Hopefully you feel more energized, more open, more relaxed, ready to get back to work. So we're going to try one more thing, and that's a neck stretch. So when we're working throughout the day at a computer, the tendency is to hold the head forward no matter how much we're focusing on good posture. We're most likely doing that. So I'm just taking one hand up, and like I'm listening to my shoulder, I'm bringing my ear down to my shoulder so that I'm stretching. This is called your upper trapezius here, and this is a often really tight, overworking muscle, especially if you're working at a computer. The tendency is to do this, even if you're trying not to do that, especially if you're stressed. So that helps to stretch and lengthen that muscle right there. We're going to do one more stretch before we end, and that's for a muscle called the levator. When my clients come to me and they tell me they're having neck pain or shoulder pain, it's almost always involved, this levator muscle. So its attachment is right here at the corner of your shoulder blade, and it does this. So you can imagine if you're doing that throughout the day, that muscle is going to be short and tight and probably overworking, and it's going to probably hurt. So the stretch for that is to turn your head. You can take the hand behind the head and gently bring your chin down towards your shoulder. So as I do that, I'm lengthening this muscle right here that connects my upper shoulder here to the mastoid process, which is at the back of my skull, creating more space there. And let's do the other side. As I do that, I just want to let my shoulder go. So I want to make sure as I'm stretching, I'm not tensing my shoulder, but I'm imagining that I'm holding a really heavy weight, and that's helping to drop my shoulder down away from my ear. Go ahead and bring your head back through center. Let's roll the shoulders down and back a couple times. And how do you feel? How do your shoulders feel? How's your neck? How are your hips? Hopefully you're feeling much more open and you're feeling less tension to get up and start your day. I know maybe you're in a different time zone and it's the middle of the day for you, but it's the morning here in California. So this is just one tiny little slice of what I do when I work with clients one-on-one and when I work also in my group. So if you would like more of this, more where this came from, then I would love to work with you one-on-one and give you a few of these exercises. And I do this for free. You get a 30-minute call with me for being a part of this group. And in that Zoom session, we do a mini assessment to have a better understanding of what's going on with you, what exercises you may need that would be specific to what you have going on. We'll look at past injuries, past surgeries, things like that, what you're already doing, and we will give you the right exercises that are just for you. So if you'd like to join me for one of those complimentary mini sessions, then you can comment relief below, and I'll just go ahead and send you a message on Facebook, and you can jump on my calendar for one of those. There's only a few left for next week, so definitely hit me up if you're interested in that. But you can always watch this replay here in the group. It's under the guides section. It's also going to be pinned at the top of the page, so feel free to keep coming back to this so you can memorize this routine. And even if you don't want to use this specific routine, hopefully it gave you some ideas of just some quick exercises that you can do to alleviate the buildup of the tension in our muscles from being in one position throughout the day. So we want to vary our movement throughout the day because that's what our body was designed to do. And Katie Bowman, who is the author of Move Your DNA, in addition to many other incredible books on movement, she's actually a biomechanist, and she coined this term, movement snacks. So it's actually more important that you move more throughout the day, even if it means 2 minutes every hour, rather than sit in one position or stand in one position and then go to the gym and work out for an hour. That actually is better for your body to vary your movement and do small, bite-sized chunks of movement or movement snacks throughout the day, which is just going to help your body stay loose, stay mobile, joints stay lubricated. It will help you avoid arthritis, and it will just help you generally feel much better, more energized, and just more present in your body to help get you out of your head and into the body. That's really what this is all about. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week.